It was a frequent sight in the 80s and 90s, and it's continued on till today. Playoff football in the Bay Area as we welcome you to Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. It's the second of our two games here on this Saturday as Super Wild Card Weekend continues here on EA Sports. And that's not going to be returned, as so many kicking teams elect to do. This is past the landing zone, and we'll start at the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
Good running right there. And this is a man who was a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances, and he picks up nice yardage on that one.
2nd down and 3. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11. Solid running there. And, CD, we hear so much about what it takes to win in the playoffs. Most people like to include having a strong running game in their assessment. And with this man in the backfield, this group has a strong running game without a doubt.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you there, because in terms of yardage, he's a top 5 running back in the league. And in terms of impact on a game, not many better than him. And when they're flowing and he's carrying the ball consistently, they're tough to beat.
Here's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down.
And this is what you want to do in the first half of the playoff game. Get the running game established. He was a big part of their run to a division title. So they're going to rely on him to carry a heavy load here in the playoffs. He rips off a nice run there.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Warriors 70, 79 Broncos. Ready?
Now Purdy. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down.
It's a gain of a yard. Brings up 4th down and 1.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. Purdy will set up to throw it here. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here. 1st and 10. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. And that'll be incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Able to find a seam for 14 yards, but still now facing a 4th down after the scramble. This is up and good from Pinheiro. Every possession in the postseason magnified. And look, it's just the opening drive. They didn't get the touchdown they wanted, but at least they got on the board.
They got on the board. They've got their home crowd into it as well. And remember, in the playoffs, the game slows down a little bit, so every point is precious.
And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. First carry for the All-Pro running back, it's Josh Jacobs. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. To throw, Williams. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
One of the great coaches said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush one, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
Williams from the gun on 3rd down. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable. And sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage. I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
2nd and 10. Jacobs going to try the middle. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
3rd down and 10. To throw, it's Williams. Flushed out right. That is caught. And he'll be brought down with a penalty flag on the field. It was a late decision to throw, and it might have been too late. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. This is taken around the 12. And he's out right at the 25. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. 3-0 after one on EA Sports.
On the set.
Second down, 8 to go from the 28.
Go!
Back to throw, Purdy. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Play action, now Purdy. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Purdy now to throw. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Kyler Gordon picks it off. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Off the play fake, it's Williams. That's complete. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And they had just picked it off to get the football. They fumble it right back. I looked over to both sidelines. A lot of scrambling to find the helmets.
Yeah, you can almost, I mean, you know both sides are screaming sudden change. Because when sudden change happens, that's a defensive call to get back out on the field. There's been a fumble, so an interception, some type of a turnover. You've got to get back out there and play. These guys
fighting through, and he's got space. Down the left sideline, Christian McCaffrey. Racing to the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers. Christian McCaffrey, 81 yards. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. And that's caught inside the 35. And he gets this one down to the 24. A huge play there for Chicago. 46 yards.
And what a call, because they ran a triple out route. 3 guys running out routes at varying depths. And then they let an inside receiver try and sneak free and run deeper downfield, and he does. And the defense out of sorts here, and it turns into a big play.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Working out of the gun, Williams. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Nick Bosa. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
Here's Williams. Escaping the pressure right. Going for it all. And this is going to be intercepted. It's Jair Brown who's got it. And the 49ers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
Partner, have you ever heard the story of Icarus in mythology? That's the guy who flew too close to the sun and had his wings melted. That was our guy right there. Keeps pressing it and pressing it. Finally, on that throw, he paid the price with that turnover.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A gain there of 21 yards. Throwing here, Purdy. And Purdy finds a way to move the chains. He slides to a stop, and he's got the first down. Looking to throw. He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Brandon Ayuk, 41 yards. And the Niners add 6 to their lead. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. Here is Wishnowsky to boot it away following the touchdown. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's second down. Very nicely done there on the reception, and what an impact this rookie made on this offense, Charles, in the regular season.
Yeah, he's a big part of why they are where they are. He stepped into an important role, embraced it, and in a lot of ways expanded it, and immediately made a connection with his quarterback.
Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Moore. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. A reminder coming up at the half, as we've done all year. We'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown on what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin on the road to Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta. From the gun, here's Williams. A pass complete to Odunze. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Looking to throw is Williams. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. 4 yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the first.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
That'll be caught right side by the rookie receiver. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And he'll go right back to Moore, complete again. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Ninth play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Here's a quick throw out left. It's complete. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Jacobs is into the end zone for a Bears touchdown.
Well, this had not been the greatest of first halves to this point. They've been pretty well dominated in all phases of the game, so this was an important drive just to show they can move the football and finish. And now they're on the board here on the touchdown run.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
Purdy.
And now the ball's out, fumbled near midfield, and this is picked up by the Bears.
You can admire his willingness to sacrifice his body to try and pick up the first down, and I do, but let's face it. You know his coaches are going to warn him about diving or extending for a marker for this exact reason. So much easier to have the ball knocked free when you're extended like that. So if you're going to dive, you got to make sure you secure the football, which he didn't.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To the air, Williams. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll bring up second down. And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good. These playoff games have a tendency to be tight. You have to wonder if that missed field goal could haunt them later.
Yeah, we're always looking for the key plays, right? The ones that we're going to magnify. Usually those happen in the second half or later in the game. This might be the key play of the game showing up here in the first half.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. On the slant into the hands of Christian McCaffrey. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff. And the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. On play action, here's Williams. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
Throwing is Williams. He's going to let this one go deep. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Well, when the running game's not working, sometimes you just got to take a few more chances down the field. That's a good effort, but it winds up incomplete.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, if they have any designs of getting back into this football game in the second half, they're going to need to be much sharper offensively than they were on this opening possession. Not much happening here, and it'll lead to a fourth down.
And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. On first down, this is McCaffrey. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. Being chased out left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Julian Blackmon. He's the culprit, dropping him for a 2-yard loss. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Here's Purdy. He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I've got a good friend in football, always talks about predictive history. He's got one of their 2 touchdowns. You can understand why they tried to find him again. Weren't able to connect, but the thought, that was good.
Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. He has still not connected on a single pass in this second half.
And right now they're going through all the different reasons, the whys, the wherefores. Bottom line, got to find some completions in there and get their offense moving.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Back to throw. Williams. And they try to set up the screen, but that almost disaster as it falls incomplete. Very nearly a turnover, but it's fourth down. Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on here to punt it away. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. So this punt sails out of bounds across midfield. Now the question, they're going to spot it right at the 40, the 40-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Purdy looking to throw. And this is incomplete. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Now Purdy. Dancing to his left. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down. They go play action here. Purdy. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. McCaffrey running up the middle. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
Let's go.
2nd and 5 now. Purdy. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Christian McCaffrey, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Niners are able to extend their lead. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Here is Wishnowsky to boot it away following the touchdown. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And that's going to be incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Third quarter, wild card round. Thanks for being along for the playoff ride with us. Here's 2nd and 10. Play action. Now Williams. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
Williams from the gun on 3rd down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to make